to mute this.
All right, we are live.
Did that come up like as I was saying that? I'm here, guys.
It did, because StreamYard is so fast. Hello, everyone. I am Sandy.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. I got it in time. I'm Chloe, and I am obviously technologically slightly deficient.
And this is WordStitch. So welcome to our Monday afternoon virtual write-in. We're going to get started right at like 4:05 with our first sprint. And hi to everybody who's joined us. We appreciate having you here.
Yes, welcome.
Welcome. So, yeah. Okay, so we actually started a topic today. I feel like it's a good topic, Chloe. I think
we did. Hopefully it is a good topic. If not, you guys know that like we can only ramble for so long because of our timetable, and that's a good thing.
That is right. Yeah. So, and we have a new setup today. So if like, in particular with me, if you can't hear me, leave a comment because I'm in a different space than normal. So, but so we were going to talk about goals and goal setting because inspired by Destiny, who has like a massive goal and has not, and is concerned that she may not be able to reach it. I believe in you, Destiny. I think you can do it.
I didn't see Destiny's goal because it was a conversation from well back in the beginning of this. Yeah,
it happened at like 3:05. Yeah. So I believe that she has, and Destiny, you can correct us if you're wrong, but I think that she has something like 2K a day left to go for April to like meet her goal, which is pretty ambitious, you know, like that's a lot of words. But so goal setting. So we'll talk about that. And this is an interesting topic for us because Chloe does not set goals. And I set like massive goals. Oh my gosh, I got to get my goal book. So I can.
You do. We can't talk about goals without Sandy's goal book.
We cannot. It's impossible. It's called, no, wait for it. You Goal Girl.
Oh, that's right. Oh my God, I have seen this thing before.
But I must admit, I fell off the wagon this week a little bit, so my charts aren't that impressive. But I will grab.
I still have, like, I do one of the few like goal things I do just because I feel obligated to have some sort of thing. Is I've got a dry erase board on my wall over there. It is in line with my computer, so there's no way for me to get my camera that way. But that thing is still February. Yeah.
And between the two of us, you have,
and I haven't like succeeded in most of those goals because I was like, I'm gonna do this other crap instead.
So we should ask people what their goals are at some point.
Yeah.
But let's do it during the next break because we all have writing to get to because we're here to write.
Yeah, we should all do this warm-up sprint. It is an easy 10 minutes.
Gotta share Chloe's screen.
There we go. Okay, so we are at 4 after. Probably by the time this goes live, we'll be at 5 after. So we're going to go ahead and start now, and we will see you guys at 1/4 after for a discussion about goals.
Okay, we are back.
Just finishing a sentence. There we go. Okay.
Okay, I totally picked up my book. Oh. So one of my friends
Did you write words though? Did you accomplish anything, or did you just pick up that book?
And then I've been like woefully bad for the last like 4 days at actually writing in my beautiful goal workbook. Oh, dog.
Yeah.
And
the nice thing about everything that's going on right now is now there's all these clips of like the weather forecaster who has to hold his cat, and all these things, and like the girl who is trying to do the little story from her kitchen and her dad walked in shirtless. Like there's all these like actual professional broadcasters who are also having these issues that we as little YouTubers without real studios have always suffered through.
Yeah, there's the dog is out of control, but that is hilarious. What was I going to say? Oh, so okay, so I wrote like 2 or 3 sentences. I did not get 333 words. We have a couple people who reached up into the 300s there. Sarah and Sandra both got over 300 words. Chloe, are you counting words today?
I got over 300 words. I got 316. Nice. And I have tragic news. My outline has ended. When I wrote this outline, I was like, oh, I'll finish the outline when I get closer to that point. I don't need to worry about it. And now I've only got one more scene outlined. And then I'm like, oh God, what do I do?
But so this is so weird to me, right? Like I'm so neurotic about goal setting, right? And you're not neurotic about goal setting at all. But you totally need outlines, which seems like the opposite of goal setting.
Okay, so here's the thing with me and outlines. If I am not trying to get like an extreme pace going, then I don't need an outline. But like yesterday, I wrote 7,000 words, and there was no way that I would have been able to write 7,000 cohesive words that actually followed a plot if I did not have an outline. Although I will say that like 5,000 of those words was sex, so I don't know if that's the best example ever, but they still followed the sex that I had outlined.
So here's a question for you.
It's a different situation when I'm trying to get a book written in like, in a month.
Okay, so I got a question for you because so Sarah has a comment here I think is very much so like me and probably a lot of writers, right? Like if there are no goals, then I don't complete a project. And in many cases, I have to not just set a goal, but set like a hard, embarrassing deadline, like the kind of thing where I would be humiliated or very negatively affected if I didn't reach the goal. So
getting it listed on Amazon before it is done.
Exactly. It can be, utterly disastrous if you can't meet your goals. But okay, so you don't set goals specifically. You do have like outlines. So when you like how do you get your stuff done? How do you get your stuff done?
I just do it. I don't know. Remember, so before Sandy and I'm sorry, my ear is buzzing. Before Sandy and I went live today, we were discussing whether we wanted this to be our topic. And I said, well, this is kind of a funky topic for me because of who I am as a person and a writer. And this is exactly it. Usually I can just sit down and finish. The only like with these books, like the series that I'm working on now, the first 2 had a very specific deadline to them because they were for holidays. And I did not give myself a huge window to get them out before those holidays. So I did have kind of a rough schedule on the last 2. And then this one that I'm working on is not due until Halloween. So I'm not in that situation now, but I still just wanted to get it done. Oh, you know what? I wanted to get it done because I'm on vacation right now. That was it. When I went into this month, I knew I was on vacation. And obviously at the beginning of this month, everything was still going on. So I said, I'm going to get this done because I'm going to have 5 days off in the middle of the month. I got to do it. But usually I don't, I just write a lot. Like it's not, I get home and I write, and that's just how I've been for a long time. So really the biggest problem for me is that I do have some projects that I'm having issues getting through. And that was also part of why getting this book done this month was so important, because I have 2 other books that I really wanted to get done this month that obviously like I couldn't do it. I was struggling with both of them. So I said I really need to make this month count so that I don't feel bad about those other 2 books that are still standing.
So I have a theory that the reason that you are so good at getting your stuff done is that you use habit building or like preset habits instead of goals. Like you don't say, like, you have some accountability, right? But like, even when you don't, like, let's say you had nothing, like it wasn't vacation and you didn't have a deadline, you would probably still come home from work and write. Yeah. Like there would be no, so like, you don't have a goal to procrastinate. You don't have a, you just write habitually.
I will say that I always write in sprint fashion. So I'm sure because I remember doing this myself. So I'm sure that most people do that thing where they can sit at their computer for like an hour and not actually write anything. But as soon as I set that timer, I know I'm going to be writing for the next, usually it's 20 minutes that I set it for, but I usually, I've got that. And then I always have like a personal word count. I like to have 30 words per minute. Just because I know that I can reach that. So I know that every single sprint's not going to be that way because of what I'm writing, but at least for the day, I like to make sure that I hit that 30. So I guess that's kind of a mini goal. And I mean, that adds up. If I do an hour of writing, if I do 3 20-minute sprints, then we're talking almost 1,200 words or 2,000 words for the day. It's 1,800 words. And I don't find it that difficult to start that timer 3 times a day.
Yeah, no, I think that's really, I always feel like that's like I wish I aspire to have your work ethic, because I can totally sit down at the computer and not do anything for a very long time. Or I could sit down.
That's a bit of advice for everyone then. Start that damn timer.
Like even so, like today I'm working on a scene that's just been hard for me. Like it just isn't flowing like I want it to. And so sometimes that means I'll have to write the paragraph 5 times, or I'll which can be a big problem, like especially if you're still on chapter 1 and you're doing the thing where you write over and over again. So I try to keep that in mind, but I mean, there is also a place where you need your words to be good. So I think for me, that's a hard balance. Like I can't always get stuff done in a word sprint because sometimes those words just aren't helpful.
But I also don't have that habit. I don't, it's very rare that I rewrite more than a sentence. I'll edit it later. I know, I mean, this from working with me as long as you have, I know that I'm going to delete that first chapter. So I don't even worry about how that first chapter is, because it's always the wrong starting place. I don't know that I've ever nailed down the starting place for the first chapter. And I know as I'm writing that some things aren't going to be paced right. Like I know that my action sequences probably aren't going to be paced right because I'm not a good action writer. So I just let myself write whatever needs to, even if it's just like a play-by-play on it. And then I have every intention of fixing that when I'm editing, and I can just read it and figure out then why it sucks so bad. But like I know a lot of people have that habit of rewriting things as they do it, and I consider it a bad habit, but I consider it a bad habit for myself. I'm sure that there are some people that's how they have to have to do it, and it's not like the end result is worth it for them.
Well, you have at least one person here who's like you. BC Brown Book says that she's the same way about rewriting. So you're not alone, but neither am I.
Right?
Maybe we should talk about what happens when you
is that
fail.
we are at the next sprint.
Yeah.
So this is our 25-minute sprint. It is 25 after, so we will go to 10 of. And because Sandy likes to come up with her prompts on the fly, the prompt for this one is kicking a bad habit.
It's a good
so
prompt.
You guys, what?
It's a good prompt.
Yeah, it totally is. I won't argue that. It's just, it just came up like 12 seconds ago. So we will see you guys at 10 of.
Okay. We are back.
There we go. Something's done.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing.
What?
Was it just the one time? I thought I was echoing for a second, but it might have just been a little woo thing.
So I did actually get some words done. I'm not counting them because I'm doing some revising too, but then I got on like a rabbit hole dealing with the does stuff degrade in space kind of research issue.
Oh yeah, that'll mess everything up.
Yeah.
What was the answer to that? I'm curious because like I've come up with a couple theories in the last 3 seconds, but I'm wondering what the actual answer is.
Well, I mean, I think probably the true answer is we don't exactly know what would happen 5,000 years from now with something we threw into space.
Oh, you're talking on like a big scale. Oh, things absolutely degrade though, right? Because satellites are constantly crapping the bed out there, right? I mean, that's solar radiation, I think that's doing it, but that's a form of degradation.
So I didn't get enough time to totally research the issue, but I think I can work around it. I think if I want to save something, I just need to like make sure that the ship is equipped with like vacuum seal chambers.
Oh, you're trying to prevent that from happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Exactly. Yeah, normally it's easier to figure out a whatever for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you just make it out of whatever it is. Is it the ship itself that you want to preserve?
Well, I mean, it would be helpful if the ship didn't degrade, but I'm going to say that like in my fictional world, the material that we send out is
yeah.
It can withstand these things.
That was exactly what I was going to say. It's adamantium. It's fine.
Yeah. They like totally cannot touch that. We have a lot of people who got like a ton of good words here. So we've got like people up in like the 600s. Nice job, guys. And if you aren't in the 600s, that is all right too, because you know, you're still writing and being productive. What about you, Chloe? Did you count your words this time?
I got 818.
818. Oh my God.
Yeah. But it's a nice squishy scene right now. And it's also a scene where they're rehashing previous stuff. So that makes it easier. Because they're talking about something that happened previously in the story. So that makes the words go easier.
I totally understand why like you are such a nano. What's the word for it? You're like a nano guru.
It's an ML.
you're like significantly better than most people getting all these words in. And Herb and BC Brown, thank you. Yes. I can totally create a fun name for the type of metal.
Don't use adamantium. That already exists, but yes.
it's or you know, it's it'll be fun.
God, what was the terrible name? Does anybody remember what the terrible name was for it in Avatar? Like it was a really obvious trope that they actually named for the trope, and I don't remember what it was now. I remember the Riff Tracks guys calling it MacGuffinanium because the MacGuffin, the thing that doesn't do anything except further the plot. Yeah. But I remember it was a name, Unobtainium. That was the ridiculous name for it. Avatar. Remember Avatar, the blue guys movie made like billions of dollars.
Yep.
Unobtainium was the best they could do for it. I also will contend with my nano thing that I have been doing nano for 20 years. So I've been doing nano since 2002. And I've done several camps. So I feel like anything that you've done for 20 years, you get pretty good at.
I also feel like you're aging us a little bit, like right there.
I mean, I am aging myself.
This is true. I could be your significantly younger friend.
Yeah, I have a lot of significantly younger friends, so you can absolutely be one of them.
That's
I've
been doing this for 20 years. I haven't been doing it for 20 years, but I suppose I could have been doing it for 20 years. Oh, you've got other veterans here too.
They're also or dated yourself. So yeah.
Oh,
there's no shame in that.
It's not shame. It's fear of mortality. Okay. Like there's a big difference between what I'm worried about here. I'm allowed to be old. I just don't want to be old.
Okay.
Yeah. I felt like, go ahead. No, you go.
Oh, I was just going to get us back on track, but like, if you have something else to do, then you should do that.
I was thinking we should get back on track.
Okay, because you didn't tell anybody, I don't think, what your strategies are for time management. That's what we're talking about, right? Yeah, time management.
Yeah, kind of. And I mean, I suppose we're talking about time management in a pandemic. So, in total fairness, I think that like right this second, my strategy is to not give myself a hard time for failure. I mean, like, I really do think that like, during a normal time, when you're not stressed out over the utter unknown, then you kind of have to say to yourself, butt in chair, pen to paper, right? Like there is no choice. So honestly, like I really do have to set those deadlines. Like I have to have a cover. I have to have an Amazon deadline. I have to have a critique session I signed up for or something. And so I suppose I have to get a little creative about that. But then if I have the deadline, then I'm fairly good about completing it. So then I will write every day. But I do think that this has a lot to do with like what kind of writing or work style you have. So I'm not a steady worker. Like I'm not somebody who can, like, I can't sit down and like write reliably 30 words a minute. I can sometimes write a very high number of words per minute, and sometimes it's really low. And it depends a lot on like how much energy I have right then, and like what time of day it is, and if I'm excited about the project. So I also really have to think about like energy use during the day. I think that's the truth. Like I have to, if I really need to get something done, I got to start it like first thing in the morning. Like I must spend the first hour of the day doing the writing. Or like if I am working on a really tough project, like really hard editing, then I need like 3 hours of undisturbed time. And yeah, sprints. Like I have to use sprints sometimes just to make myself move forward. But I don't know if those are time management strategies as much as like
motivation.
Yeah, maybe. It's tied together for a procrastinator, right? Like, because you really like have to think about like what's going to work for you today. And I've wasted a lot of time trying to come up with habits that will work for me on a daily basis, right? Like, or like setting way over ambitious goals and or like telling myself I'm going to do way more than I actually can. And I think the truth is that I'm just a lot more effective if every week I try to do whatever I need to get done, like and I allow myself to change the method. Like if I am not flexible with me, then I fail. It's fine.
Thank you everybody for posting when you first started with Nano, because it makes me look less old that a lot of you have at least 10 years under your belt. BC Brown, a couple seconds ago, it was higher up than that. Mm-hmm. Made a, what is it? Always reminding myself to keep a project in front of me all of the time. I want to talk about that when we come back, but it is 5 o'clock here on the East Coast. So this is our 1K 30-minute block. We're going to write for 30 minutes. If you guys are new to us, we will have a big break after this. We'll do a 15-minute break instead of a 10-minute break. So feel free to burn yourselves out trying to write 1,000 words or write whatever you want. You don't have to. I probably won't. I get close, but I very rarely actually get that 1K. So we will see you guys at 1/2 past the hour.
Okay.
Oh, I was mid-sentence when that timer went off, and now I don't know where that sentence was going. No.
No. I was at like the very, very end of the chapter. I'm going to have to finish it in the last 10 minutes. That's okay.
Well, it was like starting a conversation. He was like getting ready to say, and then that was when the timer went off, and I don't remember what he was going to say. Oh, never mind. Okay, hold on. Let me just write the sentence.
Okay. And hopefully those of you with us got tons of words during that 30-minute. I again, I'm not counting, but I'm feeling really good about having gotten to the end of that chapter. Oh, those are some impressive words. 1,134 for Haley, 713 for G, 941 for Sarah, 999 for Herb. Wow, you guys.
Herb, that's tragic.
980 for Sonia. This is good results, guys.
I got 908. I feel okay with that.
Well, yeah. There you go. Wow. It's a competitive group. I think we have a competitive group today. Maybe next time I'll come with a fresh project so that I can compete. Kind of makes me want to.
Does that make you write better?
Competition?
A fresh project. Because like my word count is always terrible at the beginning.
No, because with a fresh project, I'm not going back and fixing problems I've already created. So yeah, like if I have a fresh page, it's a gazillion times easier for me to.
Okay.
Like my romances they write so much faster than any of the YA. We do have people who've done like 300 handwritten words. Good job, Catherine. And 2 more video outlines. Nice work, BC Brown. It is not all about the writing, right? Like in terms of word count, there's other ways to work on it. It's not
These
all
are
no sense.
productivity spreads. Yeah.
So you wanted to talk about having a project in front of you, right?
Oh, yeah. So I feel like that is also, I don't know exactly what BC Brown meant when she said that, but what I thought of with that is that another thing for me that really helps me keep my productivity up is that I've always got other stuff on the back burner. And because like I self-publish and I do my own covers and all of that, I always have other stuff to do. And of course, like if you've self-published, you've got like all of your marketing and like you're stressing over what's going on with Amazon. And, there's just all kinds of things you have to do when you self-publish. So I feel like that's another thing for me that keeps me always feeling like I'm not having bad days, is even when I am having a bad day, I'm always working on some other project. And I think having a lot of different projects that are at like different states or just different things entirely, like a cover versus actual writing words or editing versus writing, makes it easier for me to always be getting stuff done, because like there are just those days where I open up the word processor and I'm like, I don't want to do this right now, but I've got like 3 projects that I know I need book covers for. So sometimes that work is sifting through photos for hours on end, trying to figure out what the hell to use for Warren's Tabby so I can do a re-release on that entire damn series, because I've got book covers for every flipping book except that one. But it's still important work. And so, yeah, I think having the different types of projects also keeps me constantly going, because I can just jump on and do another type of project. Your dog is freaking out.
Yeah, my dog is totally freaking out. You keep going on that for a second. Give me a minute. I'm going to pick up.
Oh God, I said everything I wanted to say. But yeah, it looks like BC is agreeing with me on that. And yeah, I've got like the main whip that I'm working on that I fully intend to finish right now, but I've got 2 other projects that are like 90% done. I'm just struggling on that damn end. So like I'll pick those up every once in a while, and just like if I write 100 words, it's 100 words closer to the end. And if I don't feel like writing at all, I've got all this other stuff to do. And now, I've got a new project because my work is requiring us to wear face masks. So when all else fails, I can always get behind my sewing machine and binge Outlander or something and get some sewing done and still be productive.
So this is so interesting because, again, like I'm kind of the opposite. If I have a lot of projects in front of me at once, like a lot of work in progress type things, none of them end up getting done. Like seriously, I do have to have a project open. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Oh, she's so angry. My little killer. Yeah, okay, enough. Everybody knows you're upset.
Oh my God. Such fury and such a small dog.
I know. This is the time of day when people walk. So like she's got a little perch and she goes and like she runs back and forth across the house so she can bark at like the best angle. But in any case, maybe I have enough distractions. So like I have so much I can be doing at home all the time, right? Like there's always like a dinner that needs to be made, or an office that needs to be cleaned, or laundry that needs to be done, or your cat is totally waking up in the background also.
Yeah, now she's cleaning herself. So you're lucky that I am censoring her right now.
You're being censored. Your cat's being censored. But yeah, no, I like
there. Now it's okay cleaning.
So I sometimes actually have to like look at my project list and take off 4 or 5. Like literally be like, okay, this is way too much. I'm not going to get anything done.
It looks like a bunch of people are agreeing with you. So we are just 2 very different styles of getting stuff done. I have to have those. I don't know. If I try to stick to a project, I have those projects that I was struggling with that I am slowly working through. But if I try to I tried last month. Last month, I tried to force myself to write the next one in my fairy tale series. And I hated life for it. And I had fully intended on that being my project for this month. I was going to edit it and then hopefully get it published in the next couple of months. And I caved. And because I caved, I've written almost 60,000 words in the last 20 days. So I feel like it was a good time to give up, but I'll go back to it. So
I think that's critical though, right? Like whether you're the kind of person who needs 1 writing project or like 5 writing projects, like you really, you have to be able to know when a project just isn't working. That's my husband. House. You have to be able to know when to stop, right? Like, because I think sometimes like we assume that if we have the project in front of us and we've committed like so many words to it, we must keep going, and it can become like, you know, the albatross that just won't go away, or like that thing that prevents anything useful or good from coming out of us. So I don't know. There's been several times in my like writing history where I've really been trying hard on a project and I've just had to like let it go, and it's been for the best.
I think it's also part of the oh God, what is the phrase? Is it kill your babies, kill your children? Yeah. I think it's part of that. Am I right on what that phrase is?
I think usually when they say kill your babies, they're talking about like the things that you like, the little bits of your story that suck.
Yes, no, I know exactly what it means. It means like the things that you are stuck on that are actually not helping the story any. But I also like, I think this is kind of part of that concept of also knowing when what you're working on, even if it is the entire project, just needs to not be worked on anymore, whether it's a kill your darlings. Thank you, Cassie. But I think that's part of it, is knowing when to Oh, here's another one. Knowing when to hold them and when to fold them.
Oh.
I have a couple of folded projects that like I have every intention of going back to eventually, but I got so stuck on those two and I was unhappy with what I was doing. And I said, and then I've also got some things that are like stuck in editing that I just butchered totally and entirely into something that is a genre that doesn't exist. I'll go back to those, but I also need to be feeling productive, especially right now. And this was what was making me feel productive. So I guess that's part of it too.
I really appreciate that you have now stuck a country music song in all of our heads.
Yes.
I think that's impressive. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to get that out of my head for the rest of.
I got Salem stuck in everybody's head the other day, so I'm just going to keep doing this. Salem's a good jam, though.
Oh Lord. Oh, yeah, we agree. Let's not kill babies.
Don't kill babies.
Not kill babies, only kill darlings. Yeah, that is the way to be. So what are we going to talk about during our next write-in? I feel like this was a good topic, but like we need something for next week.
Oh my God, that is so far away.
I know, I'm being proactive. We have no 3 minutes
right now,
until our next sprint, and I feel like we've kind of covered goals and projects and
yeah. I don't know. I feel like we got to see where we are next week.
We haven't talked about indie publishing versus like traditional publishing in a long time.
We haven't.
Maybe
but I'm really frustrated with it right now, though, because yesterday I made an entire hay penny. So yesterday was a bad day for me.
Oh, but okay, keep in mind that there were like, a year ago making anything would have been really, really good, right? So
true.
I was going to say, I didn't think
we can definitely do some talking about indie publishing next week.
Okay, let's do that.
We'll pencil that in.
Pencil it in. We've got Herb has suggestions for us. Writing stimulants, that could be an interesting topic.
Yeah, that could go in weird places, but like
that could go in really weird places. Yeah. All right, let's get ourselves set up for this last one before things degrade.
Yeah, I guess we could do that too. Instead of like going off. We did really good about not going off on any drunken ramblings this time, and I'm proud of us for that.
I am.
We were like right there, but we pulled it back together. I'm proud of us. Okay, so we are just going to do our little cool down sprint. It is 10 minutes long. So we will see you guys for our farewells at about 5 till. Go ahead and start.
Okay.
Sorry about that real angry face I made a moment ago. I was trying to do something and it did weird stuff.
So I finished my chapter. Yay!
Yay!
And we have suggestions. We could talk about indie publishing. We could talk about handwriting versus computers, or we could talk about self-confidence. I'm personally, I'm with Devin on this. I think self-confidence is always a good topic. Maybe we could plan, wait for it, 2 weeks of topics.
We could.
I don't even know how we do that. Nice work, you guys. So
that'll take us all the way to May.
Yeah. So Chloe, how'd you do? Did you finish up whatever you were working on right there?
I started a new scene. And again, this is officially the last scene before I run out of outline. So now I have a major dilemma of what I do next. I've got one more day off tomorrow though. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll outline instead of writing, or I'll just wing it. I don't know. This is me we're talking about.
Well, that's my husband again. He's totally on the phone.
It's okay. It's end times. This was not how we expected the end times to be, but this is how they are.
Oh Lord. Yeah, that's right. That's what I get for trying to do this in my kitchen. It's just I've had a little office glitch.
Herb finished the story. You didn't say that. Did you say that? Herb finished the story.
He did. He finished the story about 2 minutes in, is what he says. Yeah. Yay! Very good. And you guys, thanks for joining us. This is so much more fun for us when we have like people participating and telling us what they did. And we're always really excited when you get a lot of words done too. And we really appreciate your help with topics.
Yes.
We will definitely be here next week.
We will. It just might be us and the cockroaches. We'll see.
We will totally. We're gonna make this happen. So 4 to 6 p.m. next week. Chloe, we gotta work on our ending thing here. We're not good at it. Yeah,
we do. We try. Oh God. Sorry, I had a cat jump on the keyboard. You know how that goes. So this is happening. Oh Jesus. Oh God. Okay. She's spazzing because it's dinner time. That's what's going on. We're gonna do a little like outro thing because you made this happen, so you better be ready. I am Chloe Alice Balkin, and I am a paranormal romance author. I've got some shifter stuff, and I've got some angels and demons stuff, and I've got some contemporary with a real weird twist to it. If you like clones and really graphic sex, I got you covered. I do not have anything up for like arcs or anything right now, but if you are interested in my stuff, I think I've got all of my links posted at the bottom of the screen. Do we have that going still? We tried it once. I don't know if we're still doing it.
It sometimes disappears after like the YouTube video is
okay. Gone. Well, my stuff may or may not be down there, but you know, if not, I'm Chloe Alice Balkin.
And you can be found on AuthorTubers also. So
yes, yeah, I can find there and Facebook and Twitter and Goodreads and all that. So go for it.
I'm Sandy Vasher. I am a YA and romance writer. Mostly I'm writing YA right now. And all my links are in the bottom, but mostly we just want to thank you for being here with us today. So this was fun.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. So we will see you guys next week then.
And we'll talk about stuff and be productive.
Bye for now, everyone.
Bye.